Hi, good morning. Online people, hope my voice is audible.
Yes, sir, it's fine.
And hope you are able to see my screen also.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for
Yeah.
confirmation. So, as part of yesterday's session, we discussed about GCS related topics, which is nothing but Google Cloud Storage. And we discussed about all the options which are available in GCS. So what are the options we are having in the GCS? So first one, we need to give the name of the bucket. And second one, we need to select the location, in which location you want to store the data. Within the location, how many options we are having? We are having 3 options: multi-region, dual region, and region. So like this, we are having the 3 different options. By depending on our requirement, you can able to select the location and after that, we need to select the storage class. So within the storage class, what we are having? We are having standard, we are having nearline, we are having code line, and we are having archive. So when we need to go for standard, if you want to access the data frequently, then we can go for standard. Nearline, if you want to access the data monthly once, then we can go for the nearline. Code line, if you want to access the data quarterly once, then we can go for the code line. And coming to archive, if you want to access the data yearly once, then we can able to use the archive option. So like this, we are having the different storage classes on top of our GCS options. Okay. In the same way, what else options we are having?
Access control.
Just I will show you from here. So we are having how to control the access. So here we have 2 options. One is uniform, another one is nothing but fine grained. So when we can able to go for the uniform, in bucket for all objects, if you want to maintain same kind of access, then we can go for uniform. What about the fine grained? In bucket for different objects, if you want to maintain different kind of the access. For different objects, I want to maintain the different kind of access. In the situation, we can able to use the option called as a fine grained. Coming to uniform, for all the objects in the bucket, if you want to maintain the same kind of access, then we can able to go for the uniform. Next one, how to protect the data. So for this, we are having the 2 options. One is we are given the versioning, or we are going to apply the retention policy. On a specific object for a particular period, if you want to do, if you don't want to do any kind of modifications, or if you don't want to do any kind of changes, then we can go for the retention policy. How versioning is going to work? Whenever you are going to do any kind of changes, it will create a version. By mistake, if you are going to corrupt the data in the current file, if you want to revert the previous data, then we can able to use the option called as a versioning. Here, what values we are going to provide? We are going to specify how many number of versions are required, and also how much time you want to maintain the versions. So these 2 are the options we are going to provide on the versioning. How many number of versions you want to maintain. At the same time, how much time you want to maintain your old version. These all are the inputs we are giving as part of using the versioning option. Okay. In the same way, last one, we are having data encryption. As part of data encryption, Google given some kind of encryption options. If you don't want to use the Google algorithms, then what we can do here, we can able to create our custom encryption, and with that you can able to provide the encryption on top of your data. So like this, all these are the different options we need to understand as part of using our Google Cloud Storage. Okay. At the same time, in the yesterday session, we created the buckets, we uploaded the file, we uploaded the folder, and we created the folder, we copied the file, we moved the file. All these options from where we did, we performed all these operations from the console. Now in the today's session, we'll try to understand by using Cloud SDK how to access GCS component. So today's class we are going to discuss about first by using the Cloud SDK how to access the GCS component. After this, we'll start discussing about the one more new service, and but first we'll focus on the by using the Cloud SDK how we can able to access the GCS component. Okay, and if you want to use the Cloud SDK, what we have to do? We need to open our Cloud SDK. So just to go to start. So search for Cloud SDK, click on the shell. See, it will open the window. Just I will change the font. Okay. Now here simply we need to give gcloud space init for installing our account and gcloud init. So give option 1 to reinitialize the configuration. And select the project. So select the mail ID. I am giving 1 in my system. After that, we need to select the project. In my laptop, I am giving it as a 3, which is nothing but Qt sample project.
Sir, we are getting something called the updates available and run command gcloud components update. Do we need to do that?
No, it's not required. Andy. It's not mandatory actually. If you want, you can do that, but it's not mandatory. You can ignore that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now I selected my project. So this is the way simply we can able to open our Cloud SDK shell. Now in this Cloud SDK shell, what operations we need to perform? I want to access my Google Cloud Storage service. And if you want to use the Google Cloud Storage service, here we are going to use the commands called as nothing but gsutil. Earlier, what is the command we given? We given the gcloud. But whenever you want to perform any kind of operations on the Google Cloud Storage service, then we are going to use the command called as nothing but gsutil. This is the command we are going to use if you want to perform any kind of operations on the Google Cloud Storage service. To perform any kind of operations on GCS component, we are going to give it as a gsutil. Okay. Now, if you want to understand what all are the available commands we are having in the gsutil, to understand what all are the commands available in GCS, then simply we can give it as gsutil space help. Just give it as gsutil space help. If you see here, if you are given the GS util space help, what is happening here? It is giving all the available commands which we can able to use under the GS util, and the GS util is a kind of a primary command we can able to say. Within the GS util, all these are the different commands we are having. If you want to copy the data, we are having the CP. In the same way, if you want to move the data, we are having the MV. And if you want to see list of the buckets, we are having LS. If you want to move the bucket, we are having the make the bucket, we are having the MB. So like this, you are having the different types of the command. By depending on our requirement, you can able to choose the any one of the command as part of doing our practicals. Okay. Now, for example, my requirement is I want to see list of all buckets. If you remember, yesterday already we created the sum of the buckets from the console, and now from the cloud SDK, I want to see what all are the available buckets which are present in my project. If you want to see that information, just we can give it as GS util space list, or we can give it as GS util space LS. We can give anything on list or LS, both are nothing but same only. If you want to see the list of the buckets which are present in your project, then we have to give it as a GS util space list. Now, actually, in my console, I'm having the two buckets. That's the reason it is showing both the buckets on top of your output. In my console, from the console side, in my project, I'm having the two buckets. And for that reason, what's happening here? It is displaying both the buckets by using the command called as a GS util space list. In the same way, I want to see all the contents within the bucket. Now, what is the requirement? I want to see all the content within the bucket. Then what we can do? We can give GS util. You want to see all the content. So again, we can give it as the same list command. But after the list, we need to give it as a input as bucket name. So this is the input we need to provide. So this is the syntax and the GS util space list space bucket name. So this is the way we need to provide the command. Now just I'm giving the example here. Now, what is our bucket name? What is the bucket which is present already in the console? For example, I'm having the Srinivas QT CDE B19. I'm giving this one, for example. But tell me, is it the correct bucket name? Yesterday, what we discussed? Whenever you want to give the bucket name, compulsory, what we have to do?
Yes.
We have to give it as a GS:// and D. So whenever you want to specify the bucket name in any one of the command or in the following commands also, compulsory what we have to do here, you need to give the bucket name with the prefix called as a GS://. What is meant by GS? It's nothing but Google storage and D. So you need to give it as a GS://. Now just I'm going to run this command. Okay, see here. So we are having total 3 different objects. One is the file and 2 folders we are having in this bucket. That's the reason it is displaying all that information on top of your output. Okay. Now see, for example, what is the difference between the GS util list and GS util list bucket name? If I'm given the first command, what's happening? It is displaying only the buckets information. But if I'm given the second command, what is happening? It is displaying the contents which are present in the within the bucket only. So try to understand the difference. First command is giving the list of the buckets only, but coming to second command, what it is doing here? It is giving list of the objects which are present within the bucket. So this is the way simply you can able to understand the difference. Now if you observe here, now in this bucket, you are having the 3 objects. One is the file and 2 are the folders. Now my requirement is in the batch 19 folder of this bucket, I want to see the list. Then what I can do? Indirectly, my requirement is I want to see the list of the content, all the contents within the bucket of a folder. In the bucket, we are having a folder. From that folder, I want to see the list of the information. And now in this bucket, we are having the folder called as a batch 19 folder. From this batch 19 folder, I want to see all the list of the objects, whatever we are having. So if you want to see that information, what we can do? Simply we can give it as a batch 19 folder name, which is nothing but here we need to give the bucket name / folder name. It's very simple, and once you can understand one command, by using that command automatically you can able to understand all the remaining commands here. So here my requirement is within the bucket, within the folder, I want to see all the contents information. That's the reason we are giving it as a GS util list, and we are giving the bucket name / folder name. Just I'm going to run this. So here yesterday, actually, if you remember, I uploaded one folder from my local system to the cloud bucket. That's the reason here in this folder we can able to see all the files whatever we uploaded. Okay, this is the way you can able to see the data, or you can able to see the objects, or we can able to list all the objects on your screen by using the simple command called as nothing but gsutil list. Okay, now in the same way, my requirement is I want to create a new bucket. Till now, whatever the buckets we saw, so where we created all these buckets, and all these buckets we created from the console. But now my requirement is I want to create a new bucket from SDK. So for this, we can give the command called as gsutil space mb space. We have to give the bucket name. MB is nothing but make bucket and so if you want to create the bucket, just we can give it as a gsutil space mb space bucket name. Now for example, here I'm giving gsutil space mb space gs : / I'm giving sample SDK. Just for understanding purpose, I'm giving it as a sample SDK. Why I'm giving the SDK? This is the bucket which I am creating from the cloud SDK. Just for the differentiation or for my understanding, I am giving it as a g : / sample SDK. Just will create this one. Before creating this one, just I will go to the console. In the console, we'll see the list of the buckets once. See how many buckets we are having. We are having only 2 buckets only. One is sample qt b19. Second one is Srinivas qt cd b19. So we are having the only 2 buckets in my console. Now we are creating this bucket from the cloud SDK. What is the command? gsutil space mb space. We are given the bucket name. mb is nothing but make bucket. Just click on enter. Okay. And yesterday what we discussed, if you remember, whenever we are going to create the bucket name should be unique within your account, or that should be unique across the globe. It should be across the globe only. So if you see here, it is given the error. Bucket name sample SDK is already exist. Okay, that's the reason. Just I will modify the name. I will give it as sample CDE B19 SDK. Sample CDE B19 SDK. This is the name I'm giving. For example, we'll see now.
Sir, why are we not giving other parameters, sir? Storage class.
Yeah, if you want, we can give that information also. But tell me here, so someone is asking why we are not given the other parameters. And if you remember, day before yesterday, when we created the bucket first time, have we selected all the options? Just to be given the name, we clicked on the create. What will happen then? Default. It will take all the options as a by default. Okay. Now, for example, if you want to specify any options by using the command, that also we can able to perform. We'll discuss in a few minutes. Okay, just wait for a few minutes only. So see here, if I'm given the make bucket, I'm given the bucket name. Now what is going to happen? It will take the location, storage class, and access control. All these values, it will take it as a default values only. Now your bucket has been created. How we can able to find out whether really bucket is created or not?
List.
What is the command? Simply we can give it as a gsutil space list. gsutil space list.
I am getting 403. The billing account for the owning project is disabled in state absent.
Yeah, I think might be your billing account is disabled. So please verify it from the console once. Okay. Now, if you observe here, whatever the SDK folder which we created, we can able to see this folder. What is the other option? Just to go to console. In the console, just I'm going to click on refresh. Earlier we have only 2 buckets only. Once we are going to click on the refresh, what is happening here? It is taken the new bucket called as a SDK. But if you observe here, it is taking all the values as a default values. Have we given any values here? No, but by default, it is taking the location type as a multi-region. It is taking location as a US. It is taking the storage class as a standard. Like that, it is taking all these values as a default values, because in my command, I haven't given any kind of options. Okay. Now, for example, you want to give the option in the command, then what we need to do? For example, you don't know about how to specify the options by using the mb command and d. So if you want to create the bucket, what we are doing, we are giving it as a gsutil space mb, but you don't know about what all are the options we need to give by using the mb command. If you want to understand that information, simply we can give it as
GSUtil
GSUtil space help
MB.
space command name. Whatever the command you want to use, if you want to understand all the available options in that command, what we can do here, we can give it as a GSUtil space help space command name. What is the purpose of this command? To understand what all are the options we can able to give as part of using our MB command. Just I'm running this command, we'll see the options. See here, these many options we are having when we are using the MB command. And so as well earlier, without passing any option, we created the bucket. But if you want to give the options, what we can do here, these are the available options we are having as part of using the MB command. Once we given the MB GSUtil space help space MB, all these are the available options. We'll go one by one at high level. For example, you want to give the location. If you see here, what's the option we are having? -L, which is nothing but if you want to specify the location, in which location you want to create the bucket, what we can do, just we can give it as a -L, then we need to specify the location. In the same way, if you want to specify the class, what we can do here, we can see the option called as a -C. By using the -C, we can able to specify the class. Okay, now for example, I will give the command like this: GSUtil space MB space, I am giving -L US -C, I'm giving nearline, then I'm giving my bucket name is, for example, sample Srini B19. So in the previous bucket, what we have done, without passing any options, directly we are creating the bucket. So by default, it will take all the values only. But in this command, what I'm doing here, I am given the location for this bucket. At the same time, I'm given the class, storage class of the bucket. What is the storage class I'm giving here? I'm giving it as a nearline. Now I'm going to click on enter. Okay, your bucket has been created. Now just we'll go back to here in the console, just click on refresh. Now you can able to see two buckets. What is the name we given? Sample Srini B19. Yeah, if you see this one here, what is the location we given? US. What is the storage class we given? Nearline. For the previous SDK one, have we given any storage class? No. If you are not giving any storage class, by default, it will take it as a standard. But if you want to specify any kind of options by depending on your requirement, this is the way we can able to pass the options. And here I use the only two options. One is the location and other one is the class. But only these two are the options we are having. We have so many options. You have so many options when we are going to create the bucket from the console or from the SDK also. If you want to create the bucket, you can able to pass multiple options on it, but I'm not going to show you all the options. But if you want to explore after the class, here just we can able to see all the list of the options what we are having. By using these options, you can able to pass all the options from the SDK also. This is the way we can able to pass the options when we are creating the bucket from the SDK shell. Is it clear? Okay. Now, in the same way, my requirement is I want to upload the file.
Sir, one question, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I just tried to access the bucket that you have created. Okay. So I'm getting 403 error. So behind the scene, GCP is setting all the access, right?
Okay. No, how you can able to access my bucket only because that is present in my account, right? You need to create the bucket in your account and you can able to access that bucket only from your side. How you can able to...
all no, it is taking all the default setting if you are not giving anything, right?
Yes.
So it could be that it can be a public bucket, right?
Yes.
But it did not allow me to access your bucket. It is telling 403 error I'm getting. So it will set all the access related stuff also.
Now see here, for example, when I'm going to create the bucket. So tell me, just this is the question for all the folks only. Whenever we are going to create a bucket from the account, by default, it is going to allow the public or private. Yesterday we discussed. It is private only, not public. If you see here. So what is the default option we are having? Enforce public access prevention. We are not given the public access. What we are doing here? We are enforcing public access prevention. What is the meaning of prevention?
Stopping.
We are stopping the public access. Indirectly, what it means? We are having the private access on the bucket. We are having the public access on the bucket.
private.
You're having the private access. Okay, if I'm having the private access, how you can able to access it? It is not possible only. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, no problem. So any other questions so far up to here?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, please.
If you created a bucket, how he could access that function?
If you created the bucket, what is the
You have
question?
created a bucket. Okay, that is public.
Okay.
But how he can access that function?
Yeah, see, for example, if I'm going to create a bucket, I am giving it as a public ID. So if you want to access that bucket, what you need to do? You need to use my account, right? So without using the account, you cannot able to
yes,
directly access it. That is one thing. Another thing is, if you want to use this bucket, what you have to do here is you can able to access these buckets and everything from the our SSH shells only. So in the SS, just I will put that information in the notepad. You can able to access all these things by using SSH shell. But while using the SSH shells, here we need to use some keys only, which is nothing but whenever we are going to do any kind of operations in the GCP, it is using some kind of keys. With the help of the keys only, what we can do here, you can able to access the other people bucket. But this is the completely separate topic that we are going to cover as part of our coming sessions. What is the shell? How you can able to access the GCP services by using the shell? What is the keys? How we need to access the keys? Once you can understand all this information, then automatically you can able to understand how you can able to access the other people bucket by depending on your requirement. For now, I will keep this topic on hold. We'll discuss about this topic once we discuss about shell and keys, all these topics. Is it fine?
Thanks.
Okay.
Sir, one more thing, sir.
Yes,
So
please.
normally Google is giving some default thing, right? When we are creating bucket, simply
Yes.
giving the bucket name.
Yes, yes.
And we set our default like the company's default, something like that in real time.
No, you cannot able to set your own default because Google is given the default values, but you cannot able to set your own default values. If you want to define your default values, compulsory we have to specify the options like we did earlier.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, this is not only in the Google, and if you're going for any cloud platform or if you're using any kind of language also. For example, if you take the SQL, in the SQL, we are discussing some kind of commands only. So for some commands, they are going to give the default options. We cannot able to change those default options. Okay. For example, just I will give a quick example. In the SQL, we are having a keyword called as a order by. For example, I'm giving order by department ID. By default, what is the meant by order by? Your data is going to sort in a particular order. Whenever I'm given the order by department ID, by default, your data will be sorting in the ascending order. By default, okay? You cannot able to change it into the default as a descending order. But if you want to give it as a descending order, then we need to give it as manually. Okay, you cannot able to change the default options directly on top of any commands or on top of any cloud platforms only. You have to, if you want to change it, we have to specify all that information by using the commands. So this is the command already we discussed. If you want to specify the options, we have to give like this on top of your buckets.
Okay, okay, sir.
So -L and -C.
Yeah,
Those are stands for.
sorry, come again.
-L and -C.
What is the question?
Those are stands for what? And -C. And -C.
Yeah, given the both, right? -L and -C. What is the question?
What they are stands for?
You want to give the standard here instead of
No,
nearby?
no, no. It's a location
no.
and
L for location, C for class.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Actually, your voice is not clear. That's why I couldn't understand this. So L for location, C for class. That's why I'm saying that if you want to understand about all these options, what is the command we can able to use? Just to give it as a GS util space MB space help and D. Then you can able to see all the list of the information. If you see here, what is meant by L? L for location. What is meant by C? If you see C for class. Like that, just you can able to explore all these options after completion of the class while doing the practice. If you want to explore it, just give it as a GS util space MB space help. With that, you can able to see all the list of the options. There you can able to see the information for what is the purpose of -L, what is the purpose of -C, all that kind of information we can able to see by using that command GS util space MB space help. Okay, just 1 second.
Got it, sir.
To create bucket with our own options. Then this is the way we can able to pass the command. Okay, now we'll continue here. Now actually yesterday after creation of the bucket, what we have done? We uploaded the file from the local system to our bucket only, but now I want to perform the same operation from the cloud shell. To upload file from local system to my bucket. So this is my requirement. What is my requirement? I want to upload the file from the local system to bucket. So if you want to perform this operation, here we are going to use the again command called as a gsutil, but instead of MB here we are going to use the command called as a CP. What is the meaning of CP, Andy? It's nothing but copy. Okay, but tell me here, from where to where you want to copy? From the local system to your bucket you want to copy. That's the reason here we need to specify the local path. Then we need to specify bucket. In which bucket you want to copy? Or I can able to specify bucket path. Tell me what is the difference between bucket name and bucket path? If I'm saying the bucket name, which is nothing but we are given the only bucket name only. But if I'm going to say the bucket path, what it means? Within the bucket, what we are having? Folders also, right? For example, you want your requirement is you want to upload the file from the local system to bucket, but not directly in the bucket. Within the bucket, within a particular folder, you want to upload the file. Then what we have to do here, we need to provide the complete bucket path. But if you want to directly upload into the bucket without any folder, then what we can do directly, we can give it as a bucket name. And by depending on the requirement, either we are going to give the bucket name or we are going to provide the bucket path. Now, for example, here I'm giving gsutil copy. I want to give the local path in my system. See here, I'm taking this file and so in the same way in your system, you can create one specific folder. In that folder, better you can able to maintain one file or two files by depending on your requirement. But overall, just what we are doing here, we are given the path of the file. So now here in my system, I'm given the path like this. What is the path? D drive, Qt folder. Within the Qt folder, I'm having the bash 19 folder. Within the bash 19 folder, I'm having the text file with this name. This file I want to upload into my SDK into the bucket. Now here, after giving this entire path, now we need to give the bucket name. I will give the bucket name. Okay, I will do this only. So this is the bucket name. Now tell me, we are uploading it into the bucket or we are uploading it into the bucket folder. I given the just bucket name. I'm not giving any folder, which is nothing but this file will upload to your particular bucket only. Andy. Now just I will run this command. Here it is after some time it will display your file is uploaded to your bucket. Now I want to see whether file is uploaded or not. How I can able to check that? What is the command? gsutil space list space. We need to give the bucket name. So this is my bucket. In this bucket I uploaded. Just give the bucket name. Here in this bucket we uploaded the file called as a gcp-demo-day1.txt file. This is the file we uploaded, and so this operation you can do it from the console, or this operation we are going to do it from the cloud SDK also. Is it simple or complex, Andy? It's very simple. Just we can give it as a gsutil space copy command. After the copy command, we are given the two arguments. One is nothing but your local file, and second one is nothing but we are given the bucket name. With that, simply you can able to upload the file from the local system to your bucket. Okay. Now my requirement is I want to upload the complete folder. Here what we are doing, we are uploading the single file, but my requirement is I want to upload the complete folder. Then what we can do? To upload folder from local system to your bucket. This is my requirement. If you are having that requirement, just we can give the same gsutil command. We are given the same CP command. Now my requirement is, for example, before going to that answer and read, in the CP command, I want to verify all the available options. How I can verify? In the CP command, you don't know about the CP command. You want to explore the CP command and you want to understand what are the available options we are having in the CP command. What is the command we can give simply? gsutil space help space for any command, not only MB, not only CP, whatever the commands which are present in the gsutil. If you want to understand the available options, simply what we can do here, we can give it as a gsutil space help space your command name. Just click on enter. Okay. See here, these many options we are having under the CP command. So by depending on your requirement, you can able to use any one of the options. And now actually here, what is my requirement? I want to upload the complete folder. Now tell me, in the folder, we are going to have the single file or we are going to have the multiple files? Obviously, we are going to have the multi-file files. And now indirectly, what is my requirement? You want to perform the only one file copy, or you want to perform the recurrence copy of the multiple files? I want to copy the recurrent files and not only single file. I want to perform the recurrent copying of the files which are present in the single folder. Whenever you want to perform that kind of recurrent copy operation, here we can able to see one option called as a -r. If you see here, by using the -r or -capital R or -small r, and by using this operation, what we can do here, you can able to perform the recurrent copy operation, which is nothing but whenever you want to upload the complete folder, then what we can do here, we can able to use the option called as a -capital R, or we can able to use the option called as a -r. Okay, so how to use this one? Just I will show you. Just give it as -r. Then we need to give the path. Now tell me, we need to give the path up to where? Just up to the folder. I'm not giving the file name, just I'm giving the path like this. I'm giving the folder path. After that, we need to specify the bucket name. So this is the command we are giving. If you want to upload the complete folder, we are giving gsutil space copy space -r for recurring the copying of all the files, and after that we are given the local folder path. Then we are given the bucket name. Now you tell me here, if you are going to give the command like this, in this bucket, what will happen? It will create the folder automatically or not? Yes or no answer? If I'm going to run this command, in this bucket, we don't have any folder. But if I'm going to run this command, in this folder, will it create this folder automatically or not? What we are doing, you are uploading the folder, which is nothing but you are copying the folder. If you are going to copy the folder, automatically what will happen? It will create the folder first in this bucket. After creation of the folder only, it will copy all the files, and we'll check that once. Just I'm going to run this command. Okay. See here, it is copying all the files one by one. Before running this command, I given the gsutil list command. If you given the list command, what it is showing here? It is showing the only single file. Where it is? Sorry. Okay. So before running the copy command, before giving the -r option, I given the gsutil list on top of this bucket. How many objects it is showing? It is showing only one object. Now we are uploading a folder. What I'm telling here, when we are uploading the folder, automatically first what will happen? It will create the folder in this bucket. After creation of the folder, in that folder, it will copy all the files, and so our copying operation is completed. Now again, I will give the same gsutil list command. Now we'll see how many objects it will display. Any guesses how many objects it will display? 1 or 2? Earlier it displayed only 1. Now it will display the 2. Just we'll see that. See here. Earlier it is showing only 5. Now it is showing the one more object called as a batch 19 folder. So this is the way whenever we are going to upload the folder, first what will happen? It will create the folder. After that, in that folder, it will upload all the files, and now my requirement is in this folder, I want to see what all are the files uploaded. How I can able to check that information? gsutil space list space. We need to give the complete path. Not only bucket name, we need to give the bucket name / we are given the folder name because I want to see the content in this folder. That's the reason we are given the bucket name / folder name. Just click on enter. Here, I think we copied around 18 to 19 files, and you can able to see all the list of the files on top of your bucket. Indirectly here, we are uploading the file. In parallel, we are validating whether all the files are uploaded or not. This is the way simply we can able to use the gsutil copy command to upload a single file or to upload the complete file. We are going to use the gsutil copy command. Okay. Now in the same way, we'll try to understand one more thing.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, by seeing the output in the SDK, how can we say that this is the folder and this is the file?
See, coming to file, what's happening? And you can able. So actually, someone is asking the question how we can able to find out. So this is the command we given for the list. It is displaying the content. Out of this content, how we can able to understand which is the folder and which is the file. If it is a file, generally what will happen? We are going to see this kind of extension. But if it is a folder, what will happen here? Simply we can able to see it as a your folder name. You can at the end you can able to see it as a /. At the end, whenever we are seeing it as a slash, that we can able to call it as a folder. At the end, if you are having this kind of extension and either .txt or .json or .csv, those kind of things only we can able to call it as a files. Whenever your object is showing at the end as a slash, that we can able to call it as a simply folder. Is it clear?
Sir, do we have any restrictions on keeping the bucket name? For
Yeah,
example,
I told you, right? So whenever you are going to create the budget, what is the restriction we are having? Your bucket name should be unique across the globe. Okay, so you have to give the different name. And so if you are given the, for example, if everyone is given the sample, what will happen? You cannot able to create the bucket. Only
sir,
that is
what
the restriction.
happened is I just gave the bucket name as with the spaces. So a list
No,
command and all is not
one sec.
working, sir.
Space won't allow only. So don't give the spaces.
Okay, sir.
Actually, if you want to understand all the rules of the names, just you can able to see here from the console. Once you click on the create bucket, here you can able to see one option called as the naming guidelines. And if you want to understand what all are the rules we need to follow when you are going to give the bucket name, so here you can able to verify all the rules in the naming guidelines. Your bucket name should not contain the spaces, and we are having some other kind of naming conventions also. Your bucket name should start with the lowercase, like that. We are having different kind of rules. And if you want to understand the rule, just click on this naming guidelines. As per those rules, please try to give the bucket name.
Okay, sir. When we are uploading a folder, what are the common error will come, sir, when if the file count is any error that should we should be aware of?
No, it won't throw any kind of errors. So sometimes what will happen is, if this file is already present in this folder, for example, in my bucket I'm having the batch 19 folder. In this batch 19 folder, in the bucket already we are having all these files, but you are trying to upload all these files again one more time. Then what will happen?
Duplication error.
It will give the error saying that already files are available in the target folder, or already files are available in the target bucket. So that kind of errors we can able to face. Other than that, you won't face any kind of errors. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any network connection or only 500 files? Because in real time, I'm asking, in real time project scenario, you will have huge size of files will be there.
Yes.
If after uploading 500 files, it will break anything that we should aware?
No, actually it won't fail, because in the real time we are going to use the real time network. It won't fail. For example, if it is going to fail, there is no other option to start again from the stopping point onwards. We need to copy again from the starting only. So actually, as part of using the GS util, we don't have any option to start copying the file from a specific point. If it is failing in between, again we have to start from the starting point only.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No
And
problem.
this is the entry point. Before in any project, I should bring my file from external source to bucket. That is the entry point, sir. We can't keep anywhere else.
Yes, correct.
Right?
Yes. Okay. Yes, someone is asking.
Okay, we validate all files are uploaded.
Yeah, if you want to validate all the files are uploaded or not, so what we have to do, so someone is asking the question, how I can able to ensure that whether all the files are uploaded or not. If you want to do it manually, what's the option? You need to go to local file, local folder. You need to count the number of files. At the same time, here we need to count the number of files manually. But if you want to do it in the automatic way, then what we can do here we can able to use the programming methodology. And earlier I told you, right? So we are having the 3 different options if you want to access the GCP component. First option from the console. Second option from the SDK. Third option by using the Python programming. Whenever you want to validate whether all the files are uploaded correctly or not, if you want to do it from the SDK, there is no other option. You have to do it manually. But if you want to do this from the Python programming, in the Python programming, we can write some kind of code, and by using the code, what we can do here, we can able to count how many number of files are uploaded. Like that, we can able to verify whether all the files are uploaded to your bucket or not. When we are going to discuss about the Python programming, at that point of time, I will tell you how we can able to count the number of files in your bucket. Is it clear? Okay. Now we'll see one more thing. Now my requirement is I want to copy the file from one bucket to other bucket. So far what we are doing, we are copying the files from the local system to our buckets only. Now my requirement is I want to copy the file from the one bucket to other bucket. So then what we can do, any guesses? GS util space, copy space. We need to give the source bucket name, and we need to give the target bucket name. So it's very simple. And if you want to copy from the one bucket to other bucket, so what we have to do here, we have to give it as a GSUtil copy. We are given the source bucket name and we are given the target bucket name. So for example, here I'm giving source bucket name. And I'm giving my target bucket name. Okay, is the correct command? What is my requirement? From this bucket to this bucket, I want to copy a specific file only, not a complete bucket here. I want to copy only the specific file. So then we have to specify the file name. So for example, my file name is this. In this bucket, we are having this file name. So from this bucket, I want to copy this file name to this bucket. So for that reason, we are going to give the command like this, source bucket path, and we are given the target bucket name. Just we are going to run this command. Okay, your file is copied. Actually, earlier we are in the console, but here do we have any files? No. Now we perform the copy operation. Just we click on the refresh. Here, this file is copied. Okay, this is the way as per your requirement. If you want, what we can do here, we can able to copy the file from one bucket to other bucket only. And here one more requirement. I want to move the file. What is the difference between copy and move? Yesterday we discussed. Copy is nothing but you are going to have the copy, you are going to have the file in the both the source bucket and target bucket only. But if you are going to give the move, what will happen? It will remove the file from the source bucket. It will keep the only file in the target bucket. So if you want to move the file from one bucket to other bucket, just here we are going to use the command called as a MV command. Here also I'm giving same MV. So if you are going to use this command, automatically what will happen? Your file will be copied. Now, for example, here my requirement is while moving the file, I want to rename the file. Then what we can do? I want to get my file name as a day2 into my target bucket. So what we can do here? That's also very simple. And just we can give the file name like this. Instead of 1, here I will give the 2. If you are not giving the anything, what will happen? It will copy the same file name to your target bucket. But my requirement is while performing the moving operation, while performing the copy operation in the target bucket, I want to change the file name. Whenever we are having that kind of requirement, here instead of giving the only bucket name, you can able to give the file name also. Whatever the name you want to give, you can able to give that name only. So with that, what will happen? You can able to move the file. At the same time, we are changing the file name also on top of your target bucket. Just will run this command once. Okay, your file is moved. Now tell me, what is the file name we are going to see? Day 1 or day 2? Here I given the name as a day 2. In the target bucket, I want to put the name as a day 2. Just will click on refresh once. Here it moved the file from the source to target. Here we can able to see the name as a day 2. Now I want to verify that whether in the source bucket do we have that file or not. How to verify the file availability? GSUtil space list space bucket name. Just click on enter. It should not display the day 1 file. We'll see that. Here we don't have the file. We are having the only the folder which we uploaded earlier. And earlier we are having the file here, but when we given the move command, what happened? Your file moved from the source bucket to your target bucket. Okay. Now one more requirement here. I want to remove the file from the bucket.
RM.
What we can do simply, we are having the one more command called as a RM command. And by using the RM command, we can able to perform the removing the file. Now, for example, from this bucket, I want to perform the removal operation. From this bucket, sample CDB B19 SDK bucket, whatever the file just now we copied and just now whatever the file I moved, I want to remove this file. GSUtil RM, we are given the bucket name and we are given the file name. Just click on enter. See, one object is deleted, and if you want to check that information, simply go to your console and click on refresh. Really, do we need to go to console? From the SD also we can able to verify that. Otherwise, if you want, you can able to verify this from the console. Earlier we are having day 1 and day 2. If you click on the refresh, we are having only day 1. This is the way. If you want, we can able to remove the files also, Nandi. Now my one more requirement here. Actually, in this bucket we are having the batch 19 folder. Now from this batch 19 folder, I want to remove all the files. Then what we can do? Any guesses? To remove all the files of your folder. Earlier what we did, if you want to copy all the files of your folder, which option we given? We given the recursive option, and same way as part of removing also, what we can do here, we can able to use the option called as a recursive option. Same command we can able to give. Here I'm giving -r, but I think here bucket name is different. This is the bucket name. So once we are going to give this command, what will happen in the batch 19 folder? I'm having total 15 files, and once we are going to run this command, automatically what will happen? It will remove all the files and folders of this bucket. Just we'll run this and we'll check it once. See, it is removing all the files one by one automatically.
Sir,
If I delete accidentally, can I retrieve it back?
No, you cannot able to retrieve it. And if you want to retrieve it back, which option we have to use? We have to use versioning, or we have to use the retention policy. We have to use the versioning. Yesterday we discussed, right? So if you want to protect the data, we are having the two options. One is nothing but we are having the versioning, and one more thing is nothing but we are having the retention policy. So if you want to revert the data, you need to enable the versioning option. If you are having the versioning option, then only we can able to perform the revert operation. If you are not enabling the versioning option, then we cannot able to perform any kind of revert operation. Is it clear? So this is the way. Simply we can able to remove all the files.
Sir,
No, 1 second. 1 second. Offline people are asking one question. Just 1 minute.
Suppose there is a space in the file name itself in the source system.
Sir, come again.
Suppose there is a space.
There is a
in the
space.
file name.
Okay. See, in the file name, if there is a space, that we can able to upload. What is the restriction? Only for bucket names we are having the restriction. There is no restrictions for the files.
Not happening.
What is it giving?
Not able to upload it.
It's giving error.
Yeah. Okay. Command exception.
Okay, we'll check after the class. Okay. So actually, offline people are facing one issue. He is saying that one file, if a file name is having the spaces, it is giving some kind of error. We'll check that once after the class. Okay.
Sir, yeah, sir. While removing, we have given the recurring for the folder level, right?
Yes.
So why can't we give the file level also? It will work, right? Recurring.
Yeah, you can give the /***. If you are giving the ****, what will happen? It will remove all the files at the file level.
Oh.
So for example, you are giving the folder name. After that, just give the /***. Then what will happen? It will remove all the files from the folder.
Particular like format. We can
Exactly. Okay. So this is the way you can able to remove all the files of your folder, or if you want to remove the particular file from the folder, that also we can able to perform. To perform all these operations, which is the command we are using here, we are using the command called as a rm command. And in the same way, for example, if you want to understand what all are the available options we are having in the rm, what we can do? Same command, gsutil space help space rm. With that, you can able to see all the available options which are present in the rm command. Okay. Now in the same way, here we are having one more important command called as a rsync. So this is the one more command called as a rsync. And so if you see the name, what we are having, sync. What is the meaning of sync or syncing? For example, I'm having a local folder and I'm having a bucket. Now my requirement is here. At any point of time, if we are creating or deleting a file from the local folder, automatically changes need to happen in the bucket also. So what is the requirement here? At any point of time, if we are creating or deleting a file from the local folder, then what I want to do here, I want to do the same operations into my bucket also automatically. For example, in the local folder, I'm having 1.txt file and I'm having 2.txt file. and these files you copy it to your target bucket. This is the day one, for example. Now coming to day two, Andy, in this local folder, I am creating one more folder called as one more file called as a 3.txt. Now, if I want to upload this file to here, what I need to do, as we discussed above, we need to use the copy command. By using the copy command, I need to copy this file from here to here. Now coming to day three, here it created the one more file called as a 4.txt. Now coming to fourth day also, again, what we need to do? We need to perform again one more time the copy operation. Again, we need to upload this file Andy. But here my requirement is, whenever 3.txt file is creating in this folder, automatically I want to upload this file into the target bucket. I don't want to do any kind of manual operation. Automatically, I want to copy this file from the local folder to my target bucket. In the same way, for example, third day, here I'm creating a 4.txt. So what need to happen? Automatically, I want to copy this file from here to here. Indirectly, what we are doing? In between local folder and bucket, what operation we are doing indirectly? We are performing the syncing operation, which is nothing but at any point of time, my local folder and bucket should contain the same kind of data, which is nothing but we are going to perform the syncing operation between the local folder and bucket Andy. But how we can able to perform the syncing operation in the GCS? Whenever you want to perform the syncing operation, here we are going to use the command called as a rsync. Here I can able to say at any point of time, if you want to maintain same data between local system and your bucket, then we have to use rsync command. So what we are doing here, whenever at any point of time in between local folder and bucket, if you want to maintain the same kind of data, then what we have to do here, we need to verify, we need to use the rsync command Andy. Now, for example, in my target bucket, I don't have any files. Now I will give the command called as a rsync. I'm giving local folder path. Here I'm giving my target bucket. So what I'm doing here, I'm giving the command called as a rsync command. Whatever are the inputs we are giving it as a local folder path. I'm giving at the same time, I'm giving the target bucket. Once I'm going to run this command, what will happen? Then automatically all these four files will be copied from your local folder to your bucket. Now immediately some people will ask the question, sir, indirectly it is doing the what operation? It is doing the copying operation. I agree. But tomorrow, for example, if any other file is creating here, are we going to run this command one more time? No. What we will do in the real time is, in the real time, we will create a job, or we can call it as we are going to create a cron job Andy. So here cron job is nothing but, if anyone know about cron job, well and good. If you don't know about the cron job, so this is one job which will run automatically.
Sir, do we need to create the cron job or someone will
Exactly.
create a cron?
No, we need to create the cron job. As part of practice, if you want to do this activity, we need to create the cron job Andy. And if you are going to work in the real time also, as a developer, we are only going to create the cron jobs also. At present, just to try to understand what is the meaning of the cron job Andy. In the coming classes, we are going to discuss about how to create the cron job and what is the purpose of the cron job. And as a cloud data engineer, how we are going to use the cron job. All those topics we are going to cover in the coming classes. Here, I want to discuss one important topic as a rsync from the GCS perspective, because in the real time, daily we are not going to perform the copy operation. Daily we are performing the manual operation. All these operations need to happen automatically. That's the reason just we are discussing about this topic. We are going to use the command called as a rsync. By using the rsync, what we are doing here, at any point of time, we are syncing the data between the local folder path and our target bucket. And for example, this rsync command, who is going to run? One option, you need to run it manually every day morning at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. or 12 a.m. You have to run it manually Andy. Otherwise, what we can do here we need to create a cron job. By using the cron job, what we can do here, you can able to schedule it.
Automatically.
So what we can do here is just we can able to schedule the job. So what I will do here is I will specify run this cron job every day morning at 10 a.m. What it means? Today morning at 10 a.m. it will run the cron job with the help of the rsync command. Then what will happen? Whatever the data we are having in the local folder, all the data will be copied to your target bucket. Okay. Now again, when this job is going to run, what we did? Schedule the job. I will specify run this cron job every day morning at 10 a.m. Monday. So for example, Monday 10 a.m. this job ran. Again, when it will run? It will run on Tuesday, 10 a.m. It will run one more time. Now, within these 24 hours, in your local folder, for example, it created 10 files or 20 files, and Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. what will happen? It will run the cron job again by using the rsync command. With that, automatically what will happen? Whatever the new files are added to the local folder, all those files again will copy to your bucket. But tell me, really do we need to specify every day, or can we give it as every 1 hour also? You can give the every 1 day, or every 1 week, or every 1 month, every quarter, every hour, every 30 minutes, every second. By depending on your requirement, you can able to specify the options only. But where we are giving all these kind of options? In the cron job. Just to try to understand the word called as a cron job. What is the purpose of the cron job? To schedule the jobs and to run the particular job at any point of time, or to run a command at a particular specific interval of the time. We are going to use the option called as a cron job. For now, just understand what is the cron job and what is the purpose of the cron job. And in the coming classes, I will show you practically how to create the cron job, how we need to run the cron job, how we need to automate the process by using the cron job. Those topics we are going to cover as part of our coming classes. Now I will ask the question. I want to sync data between the local folder and bucket. Which command we need to use? You answer as a cron job, and we need to use the rsync. If you want to automate the process, then what we have to do? We need to use the cron job. Okay, because when I'm explaining this topic, when I'm asking the question, how we need to sync data between the local folder and bucket, people are giving the answer cron job, but that's the wrong answer. What's the correct answer? We are using the rsync command. But if you are using the rsync, we have to run it manually every time. But if you want to automate the process, then what we will do here? We are going to use the option called as a cron job. Okay, this is the way we need to understand all the commands which are using by using the GS util. All these operations can be able to perform from the console or not? All these operations we can able to perform from the console. At the same time, we can able to perform all these operations from the cloud SDK also. These are all the commands we are going to use as part of our real-time projects whenever we are going to deal with the cloud storage. Okay, just I want to give the pause for 1 minute. Any questions so far, please ask me.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, for example, if I have a bucket and the folders in the bucket, and also have the files. For example, if I want to modify or doing any changes in my local folder files, then how can we replicate those changes in bucket files? Okay,
so someone is asking like this, Andy. We are having the bucket. In the bucket, we are having the folder. In the folders, we are having the files. Okay. Now their requirement is whatever the changes are happening in the local system, they want to replicate everything. Indirectly, what we are doing here? Any guesses? In the bucket, we are having the folder. In the folder, we are having the files. Now, whatever the changes we are doing locally, I want to replicate all the changes here. Indirectly, what operation we are doing?
Sync operation.
We are performing the recurrent operation, and we are using the rsync. Within the rsync, what operation we are doing? We are performing the recurrent operation, which is nothing but in the bucket, whatever the changes are happening, I want to sync it. In the folder, whatever the operations are happening, I want to sync it. In the files also, whatever the operations are happening, I want to sync it. Indirectly, you want to perform what kind of operation? I want to perform the recurrent operation. In the situation, after the rsync command, just we have to give the option called as a -r. What is the meaning of -r? It will apply all the changes recurrently at the bucket level, folder level, and also the file level. Indirectly, you are trying to perform the recurrent operation. For that reason, just here we can able to give it as a -r. Is it clear?
Or instead of this, can we create a new file? And before that, shall we delete that old file, and can we insert this new file?
You are creating the file where? You are deleting the file from where?
Local folder.
In the local folder, we are creating or deleting?
Yes. And deleting in bucket file.
Okay, if you are so she is asking question like this, Sandy. Here we are having the file 1 in the local folder. In the target bucket, also we are having the file 1. Now, for example, in the target bucket, I remove that file. Okay. Now, if I am going to run the rsync command, what will happen?
It will sync everything. Again, it will copy.
Just for understanding, I will type here. In the local folder, we are having one.txt file. Okay. In the target bucket also, for example, I'm having same one.txt file. Now, for example, I deleted this file. After deletion of this file, I'm going to run the rsync command. Then what will happen? Again, it will copy the file from the local folder path to your target bucket ID, which is nothing but whenever we are seeing the performing the RSync operation, it is going to verify whether this file is available in the target bucket or not. If it is available, it won't perform the copy operation. But here what you are asking, this file is deleted. Then if you are going to run the RSync command, what will happen? This file will copy from the local folder to your target bucket automatically with the help of your RSync command. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir,
Any other
sir.
questions? Yes.
Yes, I have. Let's in a local folder there is 1.txt, 2.txt, 3.txt.
Okay.
On the first run of that RSync, it will upload it to bucket, right?
Yes. Yes.
In the next session, what we'll do, we'll delete 2.txt. So in the next run of RSync, so it will be available or not in the bucket?
Okay, so I will give the answer 1 second, Andy. See, someone is asking a question like this from the online people. So from the local folder to target bucket with the help of the RSync command, we copied all these 3 files from here to here. Okay. Now, for example, in the local file, I deleted this file. In the local file, what I'm doing here, I'm deleting the 2.txt file. Now I'm going to run the RSync command. So what will happen? In the target bucket also, what will happen? It will remove this file, because at any point of time, what we are doing, and we are making the sync between the source and target. So in the local folder, if you are going to remove one file, what will happen as part of running the RSync? In the target bucket also, it will remove that file automatically, which is nothing but that only syncing, right? So for example, here I remove the file, but still here we are having the 2.txt. Now tell me, both are in sync or both are in the non-sync? Both are in the non-sync. Okay. So if you are going to remove the files or if you are going to add the files, once we are going to run the RSync command, automatically it will perform same operations on top of your target bucket also. That's the reason only we are calling it as a syncing operation.
Sir, it is working on the means file level or the content in the file level?
Sorry, come again.
Means some contents are there in 1.txt.
Uh-huh.
The same content will be updated here. Everything.
No, it is
update that
syncing operation. Syncing operation is happening at the bucket level or folder level or at the file level.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So these are the commands which we need to understand as part of our GS utility. So all these operations you can able to perform from the console, and all these operations you can able to perform by using the cloud SDK also. Now tell me, what's the one more option? Same operations how we can able to perform? By using the Python programming language also, we can able to perform all these operations. But so far we haven't discussed about the Python, and that's the reason I don't want to discuss about those Python program now. But in the coming days, we are going to discuss about the Python programming. At that point of time, again, I will repeat the same topics, Andy. How to create the bucket from the Python, how to read the bucket from the Python, how to copy the files by using the Python. Same topics we are going to discuss by using the Python also. But tell me, in the real time, mostly which approach we are going to use, as we discussed earlier? Either Cloud SDK or we are going to use the Python programming also. But tell me, out of these two, again, which we are going to use in the most of the projects? We are going to use the programming approach, and that's the reason compulsory you should have knowledge on the Python programming also. But at present, you don't have any knowledge on the Python. That's the reason I'm not discussing about how we can able to perform above operations by using the Python. But once we are going to complete discussing about the Python concepts, and then I will discuss about how we can able to perform all above operations by using the Python. Is it clear? Okay. Now, just I will ask one question, try to give the answer. So far, how many different types of shells we worked? You can call it as a shells, or you can call it as a prompt or anything. So far till today, how many different types of shells or how many different types of prompt we worked? Actually, people will get a lot of confusion going forward when we are talking about the different types of shells. And that's the reason just I'm bringing this point. What's the answer? First one, Cloud SDK. Will you agree or not?
Cloud SDK.
Right. So this is nothing but this is a prompt. In the Cloud SDK prompt, we are running all our G-Cloud commands, or we are running all the GS util commands. Is clear, right? Okay. Any other shells we have used? We have used the Cloud Shell. Okay. Try to give the answer. How I can able to enable the Cloud Shell, or how I can able to open the Cloud Shell?
By using console, we can do.
Hope everyone remember this only. So what we can do here, just we can able to go to the console. In the console here, what's the option we are having? Cloud Shell. By click on this, what will happen? You can able to open the shell within the console only, and tell me whatever the commands we discussed now, can we able to run all these commands from the Cloud Shell also?
Yes.
Obviously, we can able to run it. Okay. Sometimes we are going to use the Cloud Shell. Sometimes we are going to use the Cloud SDK. Don't get any kind of confusion. That's the reason just I'm repeating the same thing, Andy. So far we discussed about the Cloud SDK and we discussed about the Cloud Shell and we discussed about one more prompt. Anyone remember? Will you agree? When we are discussing about database concepts, we are using the prompt called as a SQL prompt only. In the same way, in the coming days, we are going to use the Unix shell prompt. And we are going to use the some other shell prompts also, like we are going to use the git bash prompt. So day by day, we are going to use the different types of the prompts and don't get any kind of confusion. At the high level, try to understand. So far, we used the 3 different types of the prompts. One is the Cloud SDK, other one is Cloud Shell, and other one is the SQL prompt. But in the coming days, we will discuss about some other types of the prompts also. But don't get any kind of confusion when we are using the multiple prompts. Is it clear? Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, in interview, they will ask all these comments or random comments, anything.
No, they will also random comments. So they actually see here why we are discussing all these things. First one, to get the basic knowledge about our cloud storage service, we are discussing all these things. Second thing, as part of interviews also, they will ask the question, Sunday, I want to perform the recurring operation as part of doing the copying the data. Then what we can able to say? With the help of the hyphen R, we can able to perform the operation. Or for example, I want to remove the bucket or I want to create the bucket, how we can able to perform that operation. Then we can able to give all these kind of answers. And one generic interview question is how we can able to perform the syncing operation. Then we can able to specify by using the rsync, we can able to perform this activity. Those kind of interview questions we can able to face it. And one more thing, why we are discussing all these topics again. If you are going to work in the real time, if you are going to work on the cloud storage service, what we have to do? Sometimes we need to, in the dev environment, at least we need to create the buckets Sunday. In the prod environment, mostly we are not going to create the buckets, but in the dev environment, as a cloud data engineer, you need to create the buckets and you need to copy the files. For that reason, we are discussing about all these commands indirectly for understanding purpose, for interview purpose, and also for to work in the real time also, you should have knowledge about all these topics. Is it clear? Okay, so once we are clear about all these things, Andy, now we'll start discussing about one more new service in the GCP side, which is nothing but compute engine. This is the one more GCP component we are having. So far, yes, please.
Yeah, so can we change the location of bucket to another location? That means multi-region to single region or dual region like that?
No, and we cannot able to change it. Once you define the location, that is permanent.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sir, but could we copy the data from different region?
Yeah, you can copy the data to different regions if you want, but you cannot able to change the location, I'm telling. Okay. Yeah. So next one is nothing but compute engine. So actually, this is the one. Sorry.
Our first service is over.
Yeah, storage service is over.
Okay.
Okay. So actually, so far we discussed about the cloud storage. That is the service for what reason we are using? For storing the data. Okay. Now in the same way, we are having the one more component called as nothing but compute engine. By seeing the name, try to give the answer. What is meant by compute engine? Any guesses?
Virtual machines.
Simply we can able to say it's a kind of a
Virtual machine.
virtual machine. Okay. Now, for example, if you want to start a business, or if you want to start a small software company, I can able to say. So what we need to do here, first we need to purchase the laptops. And within the laptops, what we will do generally, so we need to decide what is the RAM we need to maintain or what is the storage we need to maintain. So all these kind of things we need to decide. Based on that, we need to purchase the laptops. Now, whenever we are going to increase the RAM capacity while purchasing the laptop, what will happen automatically? Your price will increase. In the same way, if you are going to choose the storage, if you are going to go for the 256 GB, then it is charging one amount. If you are going for 1 TB, it is charging some other kind of amount. Indirectly, whenever you are going to purchase the laptops, what we are going to do, we are going to decide our RAM and we are going to decide the storage. Based on these parameters, automatically what will happen? Your laptop price will change. If you are going for the less RAM and less storage, automatically your laptop will come as a 30,000 or 40,000. For example, if I'm going for the more RAM and more storage, then automatically what will happen? You need to purchase the laptop by spending 80,000 or 1 lakh rupees, which is nothing but by depending on the RAM or by depending on the storage and by depending on some other kind of features, your laptop prices are going to vary. And if you want to purchase this, we need to put the order. After that, you need to get the laptop. All these are the activities we need to perform, Andy. But in the cloud, instead of doing all these operations, earlier we discussed, right? What is the purpose of the cloud? Do we need to maintain the physical machines, or we are going to maintain all virtual machines? We are going to maintain all the virtual machines, Andy, which is nothing but whatever the laptop we are discussing here, or whatever the RAM, or whatever the storage we are discussing here. Instead of maintaining all these things in the physical way, what we are doing here, we are getting all these things automatically from the cloud over the internet. We are not maintaining any physical machines here. What we are doing here, you are going to get the laptop over the internet, or you are getting the machine over the internet. Indirectly, you are getting the laptop, or you are getting the machines in the cloud as a physical machines, or you are getting it as a virtual machines. You are getting it as a virtual machines. And how we are going to access all these kind of machines, Andy? We are accessing all these kind of machines over the internet. We are not doing any physical activities here. Over the internet, we are going to get all the kind of virtual machines. Once we are going to get all the machines virtually over the internet only, what we are doing here, we are performing all our required operations. But to perform all these operations on the GCP side, we have to use a resource, or we have to use a service, or we have to use a component. What is the component we are using, or what is the resource we are using, or what is the service we are using? We are using it as a compute engine. So what is the purpose of compute engine? If you want to create the virtual machines on the fly, then we are going to use the compute engine, which is nothing but as part of this requirement, my software company want to purchase 50 laptops. Instead of purchasing the 50 laptops, if they are going to the cloud, what they can do here? Instead of purchasing 50 laptops in cloud, what we can do? Simply we can create 50 virtual machines. Okay, we are going to create the 50 virtual machines. Every virtual machine indirectly we can able to treat it as a one laptop only. But how we are going to create all these kind of virtual machines? If you want to create the virtual machines, we need to use the service called as a compute engine. With the help of the compute engine, you can able to create your virtual machines by depending on the requirement. But in the back end, who is taking care of your virtual machines? Your cloud. For example, if you take the cloud storage service, Andy, we are maintaining the data, but in the back end, who is storing all the data? Your Google Cloud Platform is storing all the data in the different locations based on the inputs what we are giving. In the same way, as part of compute engine, who is going to maintain the virtual machines? Your Google Cloud Platform. But who is giving the inputs? As a user, you need to provide the input. In this example, what kind of inputs we are going to provide? How much RAM you want to maintain in the virtual machine? How much storage you want to maintain in the virtual machine, or in which location you want to create the virtual machine? These kind of basic inputs we need to provide. With that, you can able to create the virtual machines. And overall, whenever you want to create any kind of virtual machine, where we are going to create the virtual machines? By using the service called as a compute engine. Okay, now from the console, I want to go to the compute engine service. How we can able to go? Ready with answer? One option, go to the navigation menu. In the navigation menu, just go here, click on the more products. Click on more products. Just scroll down. Here we can able to see one option as a compute. Here compute. Within the compute, here we can able to see option as a compute engine. And just by click on this, what we can do here, we can able to go to the compute engine component in our GCP platform. If you want to go to cloud storage, what we are doing? We are going to the storage. In the storage, we are clicking on the cloud storage. With that, we are entering in the component called as a cloud storage. In the same way, we are discussing about one more new component called as a compute engine. If you want to go to the compute engine, what we can do here? You need to click on the compute engine. What's the other option? Just to go to the search bar here. Type compute engine. Type compute engine, then you can able to see the compute engine here, and just click on this. So if anyone doing practicals in parallel with me, please do the same operations from your side also, Andy. In the search bar, please type the compute engine. And after that, you can able to see the component called as a compute engine. Click on that. Okay. Actually, if you observe here, in my window, what I'm seeing here, I am seeing the dashboards of the VM instances, but I know if anyone is opening the compute engine newly, you are having some different type of the window only. What's the option that it is showing?
Compute engine API enable.
Enable API. Please click on that. That's the reason why I'm asking. Please do this activity in parallel with me, Andy. Here, go to the compute engine. Once you click on the compute engine, once you are going to select that component, there you can able to see the option called as a enable API. This is one-time operation we need to perform. Please click on enable API. To enable, it will take 2-3 minutes of time. Don't click on the enable API multiple times and click on only one time. It will enable automatically, but it will take 2 to 3 minutes of time. And if you notice in the top right side corner here, you can able to see some circle is rotating and which is nothing but in the backend what it is doing. It is enabling the API. After 2-3 minutes, that rotation will stop. Once the rotation is going to stop, then what we can able to say? Your API is enabled in the backend. So first time when we are going to access the compute engine, it is asking to enable the API. So just we need to click on that enable API one time. Only that's a one-time activity. Next time onwards, when we are going to open the compute engine, what will happen? It is going to open the window like this. Okay. Now in this window, what we need to do? We need to create the machine. If you want to create the machine, here you can able to see we are having the option called as a create instance, and for enabling it will take 2-3 minutes of time. Till that time, please focus on my window here. Here, if you want to create the machine, what we can do? We need to click on the create instance. Just click on it. Okay. Once we click on the create instance, it is going to open the one more window like this, and here it is asking the instance name. For example, here I'm giving my machine name as sample qt batch 19. You can give any name here, but here for my understanding, I'm giving the name as a sample qt b19. This is my machine name I'm giving, and if you observe here, here also what we have to select? Region and location. Earlier we discussed, right? As part of cloud storage service also, we are given the in which region you want to store the data. In the same way, if you want to create the machine also, it is asking in which location you want to create the machine, or in which region you want to create the machine, and these are the inputs we need to provide. In the same way, here if you see the below one, what it is asking? Machine configuration. Earlier we discussed, right? Whenever we are going to create the machine, what we have to specify? How many number of what is our RAM capacity, what is the storage capacity, or how many number of cores you want to maintain. Those are the basic inputs we need to provide here, and but by default, what's the option it is taking? E2. For now, don't do any kind of changes here. Just give it as the same E2 and after that, you can able to see the machine type and you can able to see the available policies. Don't do any modifications on all these things. Just give the name and click on create. In the tomorrow session, I will explain about what is the purpose of all these options, and for today, first time, if you are going to create the virtual machine, what you need to do here? Just click on the create instance. After that, just give the instance name. Here, don't do any kind of changes. By mistake, if you are going to perform any changes, and it will charge a lot. For example, just I will show you. Just I'm going to the compute optimizer window. See here, if I'm going to select this option, how much money it is they're charging? $138. Okay. But if I'm going to the general purpose, if I'm going to give the E2, how much they are charging? $28 only, which is nothing but if you are going to change the machine configuration, automatically your cost is becoming very high, and that's the reason don't do any kind of experiments. For now, when you are creating the machine, please give it as a default option. Don't touch anything as part of creating the virtual machine. Okay, just give all the options as is, and finally just click on create.
Sir, if I create it and if I leave it, so much amount will be deducted from my account, sir. Do I need to disable it after some time?
Yes, Sandy. So see here, coming to cloud storage service, after creation of the bucket, even if you are not going to remove the bucket, it will charge very less amount. But when we are dealing with the virtual machines, after creation of the machine, after completion of your work, better to delete the machine or better to stop the machine. And I will show you how we need to do all those activities. Otherwise, what will happen? They are going to charge the money if you are not going to stop the machine, or if you are not going to use the, if you are not going to delete the machine, because in the back end, what they are giving to you, they are giving the compute power, which is nothing but they are giving some RAM to you, they are giving some storage to you. That's the reason if you are using or if you are not using, if that machine is in the enabled state, what will happen? Automatically, they are going to charge the money. That's the reason, as part of doing the practice, what's the best practice, Andy? Create the machine, do the practice and delete it.
And stop it.
Next day, again create the machine, do the practice and stop it or delete it by depending on your requirement. With that, what we can do here, we can able to save the cost. And this is one very important statement. Please try to remember, when you are dealing with the compute engine or when you are dealing with the machines, and whatever the machines you created, after completion of the practice, immediately please delete it. If you want, what we can do, tomorrow again we can able to create the one more machine. Please leave that machine like that, and because I observed most of the students are forgot to delete the machines. If you forgot, what will happen? Within 2-3 days, they are going to charge the $5 or $10 Sunday. Like that, unnecessarily we are wasting all our credits. That's the reason, after creation of the machine, please try to remove the machines automatically. Just I will give you a small session here. Everyone in your mobile, please keep one alarm for morning 10 a.m. At 10 a.m. 1 second, Andy. At 10 a.m. what will happen? This alarm will ring. With this alarm ring, what you need to recollect? You need to think whether I stopped all the services in the my GCP platform or not, because generally after the practice, what we believe, we will forget about everything, and that's the reason. Just to keep an alarm. If you want, you can keep morning 1 alarm and evening 1 alarm. So with this, what will happen? Once the alarm is going to ring, then automatically you can able to recollect. I kept this alarm to understand whether I stopped all the services or not. And so if you forgot to stop the service, after this alarm is going to ring, what will happen? You can open your laptop. You can go to the GCP services. If you forgot to stop the machine, you can able to stop it. Okay. My sincere request. And otherwise, what will happen? Unnecessarily within 10 days or 15 days only, all your credits will complete. Again, you need to create the one more account with the one more credit card or debit card. There might be the chances you cannot able to create the GCP accounts like the other people are facing the issues only. To avoid all these kind of issues, what I'm telling here, whenever you are going to create any kind of machines, please stop it immediately. Just a session, just to keep an alarm in your mobile. Once this alarm is going to ring, try to recollect whether you stop the services or not. If you forgot to stop the service, please stop the service.
Hello.
People who are not talking, can you please go on mute?
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
So is it not possible to hold or stop the instance, sir? We need to delete only.
No, we can do that. And if you want, we can able to stop it also. But if you forgot to stop, then also what will happen? It is going to charge, right? That's the reason I'm saying. Either you have to stop it or you need to delete it. Any one of the options.
Yeah. How we can stop it, sir?
I will show you. I will show you. Don't worry. I will show you.
Sir, naming, can we not, we have to follow the same naming convention, global unique naming convention?
No. For machines, we can give any names, because if you see here they are, as part of creation of the machine, they are not asking to give the any specific name. You can give any name, no issues. Okay, so definitely we'll discuss about how to stop it and how to enable it, Andy. So I will discuss about all those things, but just I'm giving the heads up, as part of dealing with the virtual machines or as part of dealing with the compute engine, please be cautious. Please stop the machine or please delete the machine after completion of your practice. Did I mention all these things when we are discussing about the storage service? No, because storage service will charge less amount of money, Andy. And tell me, after completion of the practice, is there any usage of your buckets? No, right? After completion of the practice, if you want, please remove the buckets also, Andy. Unnecessarily, why we need to waste the credits? That's the reason. After completion of the practice on the storage service, you can remove the buckets. If you want, you can create the buckets later. In every service, not only the storage service, not only the compute engine, in every service, when we are going to work, after completion of your practice, please remove all the things. With that, what we can do here, we can able to save the credits. Okay. Now coming to here, what happened? Within 1 or 2 minutes only, what is ready? Your machine is ready. So our machine name is nothing but sample QT B19. Now my requirement is I want to access this machine. If you want to access the machine, Andy, here you can able to see the option called as a connect option. Just click on this arrow. And here you are having the multiple options. One is you can able to connect by using the shell client. Otherwise, you can able to connect by using the browser window. For now, as part of today's practice, Andy, just to click on this drop down and select the option called as a open in browser window. Click on this.
Sir, in real time, we will create this compute engine or some DevOps team will.
See, if you are going to work in the real time, we are not going to create any kind of compute engines, and your admin team or DevOps team are going to create the compute engines and they will share the IP details of your compute engine. Just 1 second. We need to click on authorize here. Okay, they will share the IP address of the compute engine, and just by using that IP address, we are going to access the virtual machines. But as part of our classes, if you want to perform some practicals and we need to have the virtual machines. For that reason, just we are discussing about this concept. Okay. But if you are going to work in the real time, we are not going to create the virtual machines, but you should have some basic knowledge about what is the compute engine and what is the purpose of the compute engine. For that reason, we are discussing all these topics here. Is it clear?
Okay. Okay.
Now see here, what is open again? This is the one more prompt. Earlier we discussed, right? You are going to see the different prompts in the coming days, and this is the one more prompt. This only we are calling it as a shell prompt. If you want to perform any kind of practice on the Linux commands or Unix commands, and from here you can able to perform the practice. For example, I want to see what is my current working directory. In the Unix, we are having the command called as a pwd, which is nothing but present working directory. Just click on enter. See here, currently I am working in the directory called as a home directory Srinivas. Who created this folder? By default, with your account name, it is created the folder. And now what is this? What is this? This is a shell prompt. But by using the shell prompt, what we are accessing? You are accessing a machine. For example, how you are going to access your laptop or desktop, and you need to switch on, then you need to perform all the activities by using the mouse or by using the keyboard. In the same way, here we created the physical machine or virtual machine. Virtual machine. How we connected to the virtual machine? If you want to connect, just we need to click on this arrow and we need to click on the open in browser window. With that, what will happen? It is going to enable this kind of prompt only. From this prompt only, you are going to perform all your operations. If you want to create the folders, or if you want to create the files, or if you want to remove the files, or if you want to remove the folders, any kind of operations we can able to perform by using this console. For today, try to understand how to create the virtual machine without changing any option. That is the step one. Second step, how to connect to this virtual machine by click on this option, by click on the open in the browser window. What we can do here, you can able to connect to this shell. After that, just to give some basic commands like pwd or give it as ls. What is the meaning of ls? List. See here at present in my machine, I don't have any files, and for that reason, it is given the blank output. This is the way. Simply try to give few basic commands. One is the pwd and one is the ls. Okay. After completion of your practice, just close this window. Okay. Then, if you see here we are having the three dots only. Click on this. More actions. Click on this. Here, what's the options we are having? Stop, suspend, delete, or reset and So see here, if you are going to stop it, what will happen? Your machine will be stopped, which is nothing but whenever we are going to shut down our laptops, what we will do? We'll go to start, we'll click on the shutdown. With the shutdown, your system is stopping completely or partially. With the shutdown. Now, if you are given the shutdown, what will happen? Your laptop is stopping completely, and which is nothing but actually in the laptop we are having the two options. One is the shutdown, another one is the sleep mode. Okay. If you click on the sleep, what will happen? Your applications are in the enable mode only, but your system is stopping working. But if you are going to click on the stop down, what will happen? It will close all the applications, whatever you opened. With that, it is stopping your service. And in the same way, here, if you want to stop your complete mission, what we can do here? We need to click on the stop. Once we click on the stop, what will happen? It will close all the applications, whatever it is running in your virtual machine. If you click on the stop, it is going to stop all the applications of your virtual machine. Okay. Now, for example, if I click on the delete, what will happen? What is the meaning of delete? You are removing the machine from your system and from your cloud platform. Now, what we did? We created the machine. Now my requirement is I want to delete the machine permanently. If you want to delete the machine, what we can do here? Then we need to click on the delete. Now you try to give the answer. What is the difference between the stop and delete? Coming to stop, are we deleting the machine? No, just we are stopping the machine. But what about the delete? You are removing the machine permanently by depending on your convenience. Either you can able to stop it or you can able to delete it. But at least you have to do any one of the activity and either stop or delete. If it is continuously running, it is going to charge more amount. That's the reason either stop it or delete it. If you ask me, I will give the suggestion. Please delete the machines after completion of your practice. Tell me, if you want to create the new machine, how much time it is taking? Only 1 or 2 minutes. That's the reason. Instead of stopping, better to delete the machines. And even if you are going to stop the machines also, they will charge the money. But that is very, 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 very minimal amount. And but why to waste that amount also? That's the reason. After completion of all the practice, please click on delete. Okay. Either you can able to stop it or you can click on the delete by depending on your convenience. Now immediately people will ask the question, what is suspend? What is suspend? It's a kind of a sleep state only. In our laptop, we are given the sleep, right? In the same way, if you want to stop your machine, but you want to enable all your services without closing, then what we can do here, we can able to use the option called as a suspend. But after completion of the practice, my session, please click on delete or at least click on the stop for the purpose of saving our money. Is it clear? Okay. I'm going to click on delete now. Click on delete. Okay,
Hello?
which is nothing but after completion of the class. Now tell me what are the things you need to practice? First,
So I have a doubt.
1 second only. So first you need to perform the practice on GS tutorial commands by using the Cloud SDK. All those commands, please perform the practice. After that, please create one machine without changing any kind of options only. After that, please open this shell prompt window by click on this. I think it closed. You need to open the shell prompt window. There, just give some basic commands like ls and pwd. Close it and delete the machine. In that tomorrow session, in detail, we'll discuss about what all are the different options we are having as part of creation of the compute engine, and we'll discuss about some other topics on top of our compute engine. Is it clear? Okay. That's all for today. And if you want anyone, you can leave now.
Hello?
Again, we are having the class at the 11:45. Okay. If you have any questions, please stay here.
Sir,
The online people, please wait for 1 minute only. When I'm discussing something, please don't disturb. I will give the time to ask the questions. Okay. Yeah, now you can ask the questions.
Sir, still I'm getting that one, sir. How to change this payment method? 403.
How to change?
The billing method, because see, when I'm creating bucket by using SDK, I'm getting the error like already someone has been discussed here.
Okay,
Like
so
access denied exception 403 billing account.
Okay, can you do one thing, Andy? Just to go to your cloud service
Okay.
from the console. Can you
Okay.
please go there?
Okay. Cloud storage. Cloud storage. Okay.
So we are having class again at 11:45. Okay.
hello?
Yeah.
Sir, these activities only can done through console only and suspend and stop. Can we process? I mean, can we do with shell also?
Earlier, what we discussed,
Okay.
Andy, every service we can able to access from the console and we can able to access from
Cloud
the
storage buckets.
Cloud SDK also. If you want to clear the machine instead of console, you can able to use the Cloud SDK. Further, also we are having the commands. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So whomever facing the 403 issue, can you please click on the buckets from the console? Can you please click on the buckets from the console?
Okay, sir.
Okay, now tell me, are you seeing any error? Or try to create a bucket from the console? Try to
Yeah.
create a bucket from the
Yeah,
console.
create it.
You are getting any error or you are able to create the error?
Oh, I didn't get any pop-ups. Just I'm creating.
Now my question is it throwing any error or it is going to the next window?
No, sir. I can see create bucket window page. Okay, sir. I can see that there is small pop-up.
Yeah, small pop-up is there. So please click on please click on that only. Please click on the enable billing, which is nothing but by mistake or something happened in your account. Please click on that enable billing. So with that, we can able to perform the activities from the Cloud SDK also.
Oh, okay, okay, sir. I will try that.
Thank you. Any other questions online people?
Yeah, sir. Yeah. So in real time, they will share the IP address to connect with this virtual machine.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah. So using that IP address, how we need to connect to this shell?
I will show you. I will show you separately. Tomorrow I will show you that.
Okay.
So today, just to think about how we are going, what is the cloud, what is the compute engine, how to create the compute engine, just to try to open it manually from the console. These are the basic topics. Once you get the practice for these things, tomorrow I will show you with the help of the IP service or with the help of the virtual keys, how we can able to connect by using the putty or by using any other tools. And we'll discuss about all those things definitely in the coming classes.
Okay, thanks.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I need help in resume building. I have work experience, sir, and I'm currently working. I don't know how to tweak my current project details